In my last video, I revealed that The Silence of the Lambs is not only my favourite horror film to be nominated for Best Picture, but also my favourite horror film of all time. It's a groundbreaking achievement as the only horror film ever to win the coveted Best Picture statue. Given its iconic status and personal significance, I knew this film deserved a dedicated deep dive. The tease at the end of the last video was the perfect way to set up the stage for this one, and I can't wait to dive into why this masterpiece stands out above the rest. Let's get into it. Greetings and welcome to Fright Night Flix, where every night is Fright Night. Based on Thomas Harris's second novel in the Hannibal Lecter series, The Silence of the Lambs isn't a sequel to Manhunter, but rather a standalone film set in its own continuity. Sir Anthony Hopkins takes on the iconic role as Hannibal Lecter alongside Jodie Foster as the film's protagonist, Clarice Starling, an FBI trainee who seeks Lecter's insight to track down the elusive serial killer Buffalo Bill, played here by Ted Levine. The Silence of the Lambs is renowned for being the last film to achieve the coveted Big Five at the Oscars. Best Film, Best Director for Jonathan Demme, Best Actor for Hopkins, Best Actress for Foster, and Best Adapted Screenplay for Ted Talley. Beyond its awards, the film's legacy has left an ineditable mark not just on the horror genre, but on cinema as a whole. Its success paved the way for its 2001 sequel Hannibal, and two prequel films, Red Dragon in 2002 and Hannibal Rising in 2007, as well as countless influences on film and TV. I saw one this last year in Longlegs. But is it truly my favourite horror film, or is its legendary status what makes me want to say that? So let's dive in as I share my thoughts on this timeless 90s masterpiece, which is The Silence of the Lambs.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
What makes The Silence of the Lambs so exceptional is its gripping storyline that keeps you engaged from start to finish. Clarice Starling is a likeable and compelling protagonist, Hannibal Lecter's role is massively written and performed, and Buffalo Bill is a villain you love to hate.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
Now I know that the film has faced many criticisms for its portrayal of transgender people, which does make it a bit problematic in today's society.
Not a great plan.
While I understand that it might upset somebody with that community, I also recognise it as a work of fiction. As a cisgendered individual, I see Buffalo Bill not as a reflection on transgender identity, but as a deeply disturbing character that exists within the realm of storytelling. The film states that he is not a transgendered person, but it's important to acknowledge the ongoing conversation around representation in cinema. With that all said, besides that, the horror in this film is grounded in reality, reminding us that people like Hannibal Lecter and Buffalo Bill could exist, which makes it genuinely terrifying. Jonathan Demme, not typically known as a horror director, brought a remarkable vision to the project. The cinematography perfectly captures a raw and gritty environment, Howard Shore's haunting score sets the tone beautifully, and Craig McKay's smooth editing ensures the narrative is easy to follow while maintaining the tension.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of Hannibal Lecter is iconic, arguably his career best performance. Even though he's only on screen for 17 minutes, his presence looms over the entire film, cementing him as one of the greatest cinematic villains. This performance earned him the first of his two Oscar wins. While he was brilliant in The Father, his second Oscar-winning role, this remains his defining performance.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Jodie Foster is equally extraordinary as Clarice Starling, delivering a career-defining performance that expertly balanced vulnerability and courage. Winning her second Oscar, the first being for The Accused, Foster's portrayal elevates Clarice to the pantheon of great female protagonists, alongside Ripley from Alien, Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road, and Cassie from Promising Young Woman. Foster's work in this film is one of the greatest performances in horror history, showcasing her incredible range as an actress.
You coconut.
The supporting cast is also stellar. Scott Glenn, Anthony Hurd, Brooke Smith, Cassie Lemons, and Charles Napier all bring their A-game to each roles and all stand out. However, the standout amongst them is Ted Levine. He portrays Buffalo Bill as menacing and eerie natural, with a touch of campiness that makes his performance unforgettable. Hopkins, Foster and Levine together create a trio of performances that make The Silence of the Lambs an unforgettable cinematic experience.
I like it!
Before I reveal my final thoughts on Silence of the Lambs, I just want to remind you all to hit that like button, subscribe to Fright Night Flix, and follow us on social media so you don't miss a single scare. Have you seen Silence of the Lambs? Is it one of your favourite horror films too? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, back to the review.
Finally.
If you're watching this film in preparation for this video, I can confidently say that The Silence of the Lambs remains my favourite horror film of all time and is still deserving of every accolade it received. The story, characters, performances, visual style, score, editing and Jonathan Demme's brilliant direction make this a masterpiece of the genre. While its portrayal of transgender people might feel outdated or problematic to some, the film's horror truly lies in its chilling realism of its villains. Nearly 34 years after its release, The Silence of the Lambs continues to hold its place as a beloved masterpiece. For me, it's a 10 out of 10 and a solid 5 out of 5 stars. If you're a horror fan and you haven't seen this film yet, what are you doing with your life? Watch it now. Anyway, thank you all for watching today's video. Please head on to the homepage and check out all my past reviews and join me next time when I review Stephen Sonnenberg's latest horror flick, Present. Until then, keep the chills alive and as always, stay spooky.